All right, all right, all right. Y'all, thank y'all so much. Hey, hello. The Glow Show is live this Saturday for this special edition of F-Bomb Friday. I did not do F-Bomb Friday yesterday. As you all know, my sister and I we're hot on a campaign trail. It is campaign season. This is the time where, you know, this is the time where we can collectively show our might by aggressively and productively, right? Because what I always say is that I don't like to confuse activity with achievement. So we are productively and aggressively wielding some power here with encouraging people to vote. And getting people out to the polls. So yesterday I was holding on from doing the F-Bomb Friday because I definitely wanted to make sure that, you know what, these weren't just my ideas with who we were bringing forward. We wanted to make sure that we also I had some great input from some people that I really respect on this panel. So I was just fortunate enough to get the information into I was fortunate enough to get the information what is it, consent, I guess, not even information from, but get the go ahead from someone who I really respect on here, that is a YouTube content creator, The Blackest Truth. So Queen Neith will be joining us also to weigh in and to be included with this very, very powerful topic with the state of the melanin address. You know, let me tell you guys, I don't know if you all have seen my previous video and what happened on Thursday, but, I've been saying for months, not even just months, but for years, really, how protests don't really work. They're not effective like they were before. Because, first of all, people are too used to them, right? Let's just be very honest in that regard. People are used to them. Secondly, and you Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. Excuse me, but as I was saying my hellos, a couple of people, I went on mute. But thank you. So, my Black opinion was the first one in the room, and because of that, we're going to give you a little contribution to glow up your account. So you're going to need to email me over your Zelle information, or you're going to need to send over your Cash App, and I'm going to make sure that one of our glowers I Zelle them, and then they'll Zelle you. You know, this is what we do to support each other, and this is how the Glow Network works. Okay, so great. So we have a few in here, so we're going to get started shortly. But like I was saying, I didn't know if you all saw my video on Thursday. I'm sorry, my video on Friday of what happened to me on Thursday in regards to why protests are not effective, why they don't work. And they don't work because, you know what? Too many of us have gotten complacent with protesting being we confuse that activity for achievement. And unfortunately, this has been something consistently that has been happening for decades now. Okay, so when we talk about decades, we're talking about 10 years at a time, y'all. So when we say that, we have to be very, and thank you, Cocoa Butter Barbie says she saw that, and I can't tell you how much I love your name. I'm telling you, they used to call me Cocoa Butter growing up. So, and as you all know, I was the former councilwoman of Coconut Grove. So my sister used to call me Coco of the Grove. Because growing up was known as Coco, which was a play on Courtney. And then I moved to Coconut Grove, so I was Coco of the Grove. But yes, there's nothing to fear with a protest. And that's why I said also, do not confuse the activity and achievement when you see on media them saying, oh my gosh, you know, it's so violent. They're out there. Oh, they're out there. They're destroying this or what have you. They're saying that, and it's more so it's a dog whistle to incite or to encourage others to make up and to basically add into this sense of harassment, this sense of violence that they want to instill that's happening with all these protests. But we all know that these protests are really the more destructive parts of these protests are done from inside people, are done from that businesses have actually paid to destroy their property so they can get some insurance back. You know, and when you're smart, you know that. But exactly. When you're smart, you know that. But this is what we have. This is what we have to be. This is what we have to be. This is what we have up against us, because we're not shown the real thing. Media is able to portray us any way they want because we have no power and no money in media. And then when things really do happen, we have no pushback because there has been no true preparation. You know, we can't prepare for something that hasn't been that we haven't encountered. And because we haven't really truly encountered a real opposition, absolutely, you know, we can't really counter it. So with that being said, when they say, oh, there's this, you know, huge mob of these Black protesters and they're fighting, and I know, don't get me wrong, do not get me wrong, you all, whatever you have seen, whenever we have seen something being attacked, or you know what they did with burning a couple of cop cars here and there, these are blips on the screen when we talk about the destructive and the terrorism that Black African Americans, let's make it plain that African Americans have endured for centuries. We're not talking about decades at this point. We're not talking about 10 years each. protesting. We're talking about centuries, hundreds of years. And don't let our children think that because there were a couple of cop cars burned here and there, that at any rate negates nor balances the rapes, the murders, the thievery, the harassment, the kidnappings, the embarrassment and the shame and the embezzlements and the blackmailing that has done specifically against Black African Americans for centuries. Don't you ever let your children in all of their years of life think that what has been happening for less than 300 days somehow balances what we've been enduring for 400 years plus. So yeah, so what we need to do honestly is take a look at how we are addressing this issue. We need to take a look at how we need to start coordinating and preparing, okay, for progressing our collective community, okay? And what we need to, this is going to take, we're going to need to take a real hard look at what we need to do to be accountable to create a better and improved generation of us. This is just the bottom line, guys. This is honestly the bottom line. So with that being said, I'm going to go on to some talking points, definitely, that, you know, this is the state of Melanin and where we're at. Where we're at are our marriages have declined. Okay, so when we're talking about the state of the Melanin, we're talking about our relationships, and we're truly interested in growing our communities and growing our culture. Of course, that is still done. I don't care what science says, it's still done with man, woman, and child. Okay. The state of our marriages has declined in the past 30 years. Home ownership is the lowest it has been. The lowest it has been since 1955. The lowest it has been. So, you know, a lot of times when we get together, we're talking about, you know, land and property, but we're not owning it. Now, when we talk about businesses, of course, entrepreneurship, businesses, they are on the rise, and I think we can all appreciate that COVID has had a significant impact on that. You know, people have been thinking about what we can do in regards to our economic situation for months. You know, people that have been thinking about it for years, now we have finally had some opportunities with having a significant investment, and then with also having the opportunity to have a considerable time. Because we know with running businesses, anyone with the thank you so much. We have some contributions coming in, you guys. I do not, like I said, I'm not on YouTube. And I do not have Cash App. I'm on Zelle, and you know, we are having some contributions coming in. So thank you so much for supporting me, supporting what I'm saying. Thank you. But it's time for us to get real. You know, when we're talking about having these businesses, we're talking about something that is going to continue to exist, or should continue to exist after the pandemic. or after you go back to quote unquote work. That's what the real issue is that are you interested in having your business now go on because you're not quote unquote at work, but once you get back to work, all of a sudden then it's no longer valid, it's no longer necessary. We have to definitely ask these questions, and we have to be real, y'all. This is what it comes down to. We have to be real. We have to be accountable. Now, I know I definitely appreciate that there are a couple of other things that are. This is a super Saturday. That people are out voting today. Not in the cab quite yet until next Saturday, as my sister has definitely reminded me we're actually going to be next Saturday. So next Saturday, you all know I will be back on with my F-Bomb Friday, because next Saturday I will be at work, and I will be and I don't even call it like at work, because guys, this is literally our family's legacy, as my sister can attest to, and our dear friend who we are pushing for to become the first Afro-Latina commissioner of DeKalb County, District 1. Yes, that's where we're assisting. But we need to absolutely, honestly start to really get these plans together. So when I do those F-Bomb Fridays, that's every Friday we're going to be learning from it. And with Sis Queen Neith, and my brother Palmetto Star, we're agreeing to try to do this if not once a month, but twice a month on basically each other's platforms. So I'm going over this quote here. The feminist movement has done a number on us. As long as we have generational wealth and knowing how to maintain it, we'll have stronger Black families. Now, the life of King Wage, I love what you're saying there. And I want to give a little bit of backstory of how we met. You guys know, with me and this channel, right? With we are, I was on a show last night. What would you call it? I don't know. I was posting, I was commenting, I was in a live stream last night, and someone said, "Hey, it's Courtney. She's she's the leader of the Glow Up Gang." And I was like, that was funny. He was like, "Bang bang, it's the Glow Up Gang." All right, so my usually with my females, I say we're glowers. With my dudes, I say light your light. But I like that when he said we were Glow Up Gang. So the way I met the life of King Wage is we were on a brother named Uhuru. It was a live stream about polygamy. Okay. And, basically he was saying a lot of things that I really vibe with. And I was saying some things that he vibed with. So, I said, "Hey, let's connect beyond the boards." And I gave him my email address, and we've been, and I told him, "Hey, I'm doing the State of the Melanin address. I would love for you to come in and weigh in." But guys, I grow this channel. I grow the glow, is what I like to say. I grow it organically. I just don't put out, calls willy-nilly and just, ask any and whoever to be a part of this Glow Up network. I grow the glow organically with the same type of intention and purpose that I use to improve my own personal life, right? I don't just want people to be a part of a number so that we have the live streams happening and they're included. I literally want people that have solid contribution to be a part of this network, because this is how we glow up together. I'm only as strong as my left and my right. And that's on everything. That's on everything. So I'm going to again read that quote. I love it. The feminist movement has done a number on us, and it has. I agree. As long as we have generational wealth and knowing how to maintain it, we'll have stronger Black families. Absolutely. And he goes on to say, it's hard work. It's not as easy as people say. It's true. And I will say this, having a strong family, I didn't realize is literally like 80% of generational wealth. And I didn't realize the importance of generational wealth when I was married, when I was growing up. And you know what? When I got married, because I got married very young, as you all know, younger than many, younger than most. You know, I wasn't the average age of marriage when I got married. I was 2 years below. I was actually 4 years below the average age of marriage for a woman, and 7 years below the average age of man for a man. Oh no, this is not my Tasha Mack. Wait, Miami Tasha Mack? Somebody better tell me something. If this is Monica, sis Monica, you know Tasha. If this is our Tasha, if this is my Tasha Mack, tell me something. Tell me something. Please let me know. Because we're gonna have to connect beyond the boards. No, it's not. Girl, Tasha, you better. I'm about to fall out. Monica, sis Monica, this is Tasha Mack that ran for years a very strong community engagement component of Coconut Grove for the then Commissioner Xavier Suarez. Man, let me tell you, Tasha, girl, you about to make me drop right now, sis. Because I really, you know what, Tasha, let me tell you, before I got out of town, because I know I was telling you I was leaving, I told you, Tasha's a sister in faith as well, y'all. So, you know, I told you, I said, I know my time is coming where I'm leaving here. And I know we had never gotten together as we had planned we were going to. We had not gotten together how we had planned we were going to. But I'm so glad that I was always so grateful for your friendship, for your tutelage, because Tasha really mentored me in my position when I worked for the city. Now, I didn't work for the city as long as she worked for the county, because you all know I ran for office, so I broke up that tenure. But when I tell you, you know, when you talk about someone that I knew I could trust, because you all know when you're working in politics, as my sister Monica can tell you, as we're working in politics, there's not many that we can trust. There's not many that you can trust when you're talking to about these ideas that you have, when you're talking about these the problems that you're facing as a Black woman working in politics. It gets very lonely. It gets very lonely. Oh, absolutely. I will give you a call. Make sure, Tosh, I'm going to put my email address here. Make sure you just give me all your current numbers, because you know me, my phone number never stays the same. Yours do. But I'm going to put my email address up in the chat. And please make sure you hit me up with your email address, because I want to make sure that, you know, we do stay connected, especially with me being up here now. So I definitely I've definitely always appreciated you, and I've appreciated, you know, you definitely need people that hold you accountable to what you say you came in here to do. So I put my email address up there, and this is not just for Tasha, y'all, this is for everyone. Just to really get a look in and to reach out to me, you all. I'm available. I am available. I like to make sure that I'm accessible, because where I'm going with this glow up, y'all, I'm telling you, where I'm going with this glow up, I'm not just trying to go solo. You know, in the Bible, in the scripture, it even says that not everybody will go, and it says that God will leave the 99 and go after the one. So we already know not everybody is going to go. So I know that off of rip. But the improving as a community, as a culture, y'all, we've really got to realize that no man is an island. No man is an island. Oh, thank you, King Wage. Absolutely. So so guys, you know, glowers. When I say that, you know, I too sis, I'm off of Cash App, but y'all, this is my actual number. And again, you got my email, sis, and we can definitely commence. I am only on Zelle. I'm only on Zelle. Now, I was hacked on Cash App. But I'm right here on Zelle. And people are already sowing. Amen. So I accept and receive that favor. People are already sowing this morning. They're blessing me, and and I appreciate that. I really do. Because you all know that telling, and Natasha definitely knows that telling the truth ain't always lucrative. Okay. They like it. The powers that be, the dominant society likes it when you'll stay quiet and complicit. They pay you for that. So telling the truth ain't always lucrative. So thank you so much, sis. So that's my information. And like I said, don't just think that if you're not going, no one think that if you're not going to cash at me, Zelle me, then you won't get to use the number. You all, I'm available. I'm accessible for right now. If y'all get too crazy, y'all know I don't have no problem changing the number. I do it. But yes, Tasha Mack said she had to go. I understand the lady stays busy. She also has a show. I want to have her back on for a Fellowship Friday, an F-Bomb Friday, and talk about fellowship and faith, because I've known her, for over a decade, and she has always been a quality woman. At any rate, and that's another part too, you guys. Well, not another part, but to go into once again what I said about being accountable. You must have people that will hold you accountable in your circle. You're nothing without that. You are nothing without that. Family is important. So you all know with the Glow Up channel, we concentrate on 5 areas of 5 F's that we grade ourselves on. We concentrate on faith, okay, on fitness. Y'all, we can't be talking about being fit to run the race and we're falling behind. We talk about family. Y'all know I've been contemplating on including a separate category, because people have said family and fellowship and friends are totally different categories. So I listen to my glowers, and I appreciate that sentiment. We talk about fitness, absolutely. And the fellowship that I'm talking about is, when I talk about fellowship, I'm talking about definitely, excuse me, I'm talking about the fellowship of, I'm talking about relationships. That may not be other people's, but I'm talking about relationships. Absolutely. Healthy food is a part of my fitness, but food should be in its own. We definitely, I hear you there. Y'all, my, everything is weighing off. Amen. Absolutely. So my excuse me, my text messages are coming in, so excuse me. Checking that. All right, so relationships are the main thing. Our fellowship is one of the main things that I want to make sure that we get on code with, y'all. Because like I said, I was in the room with the Life of King Wage, right? And they were talking about with the live stream was about polygamy. And there were many people weighing in for, there were many people weighing in against it. There were not many people weighing in for it, but it was a huge stream. And the reasons why people were opposed to it, I will say this, I will give it that it was more emotional than it was physical. But I don't think that people realize that we are so broken as a people individually to think that having more wives or even husbands, because we can't just talk about polygamy without not talking about polyandry relationships as well, which is a woman having more than one husband. And I've done research on both. I wrote a book a few years ago. Actually, the last time I was here in Atlanta, which was 8 years ago now, I wrote a book. It was on a laptop that needed some severe repair. My publishing company ended up being bought out. So even though they had agreed to publish the book, they got bought out. And then when I went to go, pull and edit everything up to basically self-publish, my laptop was acting really wonky. So I hired someone local here in Atlanta to fix it for me. But then when I called him, when he called me to tell me it was finished, he said I had to come to his house to pick it up. And you all know when I was up here in Atlanta, I was not with my ex-husband. We were separated. We were on the verge of our divorce. He was still in Florida. So I just didn't have that I didn't feel comfortable going to pick up the laptop from his house. And I didn't really have a support system like that. People don't realize, I don't think a lot of women realize, and men too, that not because the woman is single doesn't mean she's on her, I'm independent, rah-rah stuff. And I wasn't, but at the same time, I didn't have a boyfriend. I felt very vulnerable. So I just didn't go. To pick it up. And that's what happened. So I lost that book. I still have some oh, Jelani made it. Absolutely. Iron, how are you? Light your light, King. So, I lost that work. So y'all, if that happened to me, right? If that happened to me, and no matter what you think of me, I think that most people think that I am a very, I'm a strong person. I'm strong-willed. I am, but I've been a victim before of a sexual assault, and this happened. This gentleman told me to come to his house to pick up the laptop after I had been a victim of a sexual assault. So my antennas were a lot more raised. And I don't think a lot of people realize that this happens in our community at such an alarming rate because our homes, our communities are divided. We don't have the men protecting us, and we don't have the families protecting our little girls. I can't say enough how disgusted I was with seeing the responses with the whole R. Kelly situation. How many of our people, I cut off so many people on Facebook, and then you guys, if you do want to follow me on other social media platforms, I am Courtney Omega. You guys, my name is actually Courtney Omega. It's not Omega Courtney. It's just I had already had some other accounts under Courtney Omega, so I didn't, that's the reason why it's backwards. But my name is actually Courtney Omega. So under other social media platforms, you can find me there. You know what? Okay, so Iron said that some men are so thirsty. It's not even thirsty. It was just, I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this, but Black women are very easy game. We're very easy prey. And so even if he wasn't thirsty, and he was an Italian guy, I know that's what he thought. He just thought it was just going to be real simple. He was very, he's very well off. He showed me pictures of his house, his yacht, and, he had married a woman who was she was a Silicon Valley heir. And so basically, y'all never get it twisted and think that these non-Black men are, they are not just as come up opportunists as I've often heard, these Black men are. No, he was Italian, and like I said, he was not a bad looking guy, but definitely a gigolo. He had married a woman that was significantly younger, and he definitely he definitely ooh, he definitely had a system, a process. He had a system and a process, and so let's see here. He definitely had a system and a process because when I looked back on our conversation, he was he was systematic. We had a good conversation the first couple of times. He made sure that I didn't have anybody by the questions he was asking. He's like, oh, well, don't you have, usually men are good with this because the problem is really simple, da da da. And me, I'm just like, no, I was very like that. But the cute, the antenna, the spidey senses went off, and he was like, oh, it's done. You can just come to my house and pick it up, on Saturday. Come to my house. And I was like, well, don't you live kind of far out? He lived in Alpharetta. And he said, yeah, but it's no problem. I'll be waiting for you when you come. And I just thought that was just something kind of creepy to say. Like, well, of course you'll be waiting. Like, you told me to come over. Of course, yes. He was used to saying yes. And so I didn't go get it. And so I no longer have it. But, oh, hey, Hopi has arrived. Absolutely. So I'm going to go over some of these comments, but long story short, I didn't get the full publishing back. I didn't get the full manuscript back, but I still had what I had kind of cruelly done. So I'm sorry, I'm dealing with something on here. So I had pieces. I had pieces that I had like excerpts. That's what I had. And so I had excerpts, but the studies that I had done showed clearly that polyandry relationships worked better because there was not as much of the ego. Imagine, so ego of men was used a whole lot more strategically than the insensitivity or the vulnerabilities or insecurities of women. Let me tell you how they said it worked. Because when a woman would have a child, and it could be multiple men in a community or in a village, those men grew up all invested in that boy. You understand? Because that way, y'all know how it goes. Hey, beautiful one. Hey, y'all, we coming in here today. Come on, glowers. We're in here today. So we had, so you had men that if this boy grew up really tall, guess what? The one in the group, the shortest one in the group would say, no, that's my son because my grandfather was really tall. That's my son. But then you have the tall guy in the group saying, no, obviously that's my son, because I'm tall. And then you would have kind of like the medium boy in the group saying, no, that's my son because, my father was really tall. Y'all may not have known this, but my father was tall. You understand, men took their egos and they were strategically using that. And they used that to kind of justify whatever positive traits there were about the boy. So about their son. And then, the daughter was extremely beautiful. Same thing. Here we go. No, my mother was extremely, the most beautiful. She was, well sought after, and then you'd have the other one. No. She looks just like my sister. My sister is really pretty. she's very smart. Like, so both of these situations most of these situations, they would exclude the mother and what her attributes were. But they would clearly play up the attributes of themselves. And so this is what consistently happened. So this was tried and true. Now, when it comes to women and men, multiple women, there is just an underlying, you guys, there's an underlying vulnerability because of insecurity. It is very hard, even in this day and age, where you put 20 beautiful women in the room together, the most beautiful you can imagine. They start to think about their own insecurities instead of bigging up each other's glow up, so to speak. Women can be very, very catty, very competitive, and we have not, I think, as a society, learned how to be strategic with those insecurities or those vulnerabilities. Where with, excuse me, with men, they're mostly into team activities where they quickly have to figure out how to use those, strengths. So that's another reason why I think men are a little ahead of the game, no pun intended, when it comes to the idea of polyandry, because they play on teams to begin with. How many of us grow up hearing the whole phrase, let's be honest here, y'all know I go in, let's be honest, the whole phrase, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Like they have more of a mob, more of a team mentality. Women don't grow up with that. I think it just so happened, and I'm just highly appreciated and favored that my family, I have three sisters. I have three sisters. I have one brother. We were the Cosby Show growing up, y'all. So and I've never, had a problem with thinking any of my siblings wanted my husband, or I wanted any of their, men. I never had that problem or issue. But did I grow up thinking that me and my sisters and my family were a team? Not so much. Like I said, I didn't really understand the value of family until I got older. I really didn't understand the value of. Okay, so poly means more than one. All right, so polyandry is the practice of a woman having more than one spouse, more than one husband or spouse. I think polyandry is more than one husband. Polyamorous means more than one companion. So it could be like, if I was a man, I could be married to a man and a woman. That's a polyamorous relationship. A polygamous relationship is a man having more than one woman, and then a polyandry relationship is a woman having more than one husband. So that's just a little bit of breakdown from Miss Hope's reading hour. I know you won't be reading about that. Oh, okay. Oh, Guy is here. Guy, absolutely. So Guy, I want to thank you again for putting me on. I think Queen Neef might have ran into some issue this morning, but we put the show a little later because she was supposed to be jumping in today. But I want to thank you for introducing me to Queen Neef, because let me tell you, since introducing her video on your platform, man, I have been really pushing hard for me and her to, do more work and get together. So absolutely, I'm going to give her actually a little text to see what is going on, to see if she's going to be able to join up. But absolutely, this has been, when I tell you, it has been incredible. It has been incredible just being on this journey with her. It's been incredible being on this journey and glowing up and having someone to feedback with. It has really been something. It has really been something, and she's been very, very. I've been binge watching her shows, and so finally yesterday we were able to jump on a call together, and she was awesome. So at any rate, we are pressing on with talking about the state of our melanin and what's happening with us. And I'm stuck on family, y'all. Before I can even get to finances, economics, business reform, and I think the other one that I talked about, of course, is home ownership, which is something that literally I just started a process on this past week here in Atlanta. The first step, of course, is getting your credit prepared. So I'm a few points shy of what I need to have with my credit in order for me to start being considered to be a qualified candidate for loans. So I started that journey, that process part this past week. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward. As soon as I have my score to a certain level, they're going to start pulling, some homes, some lenders for me, and some home options to look at. And I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited that God gave me this a presence of mind, and I was open. I had an ear to hear. I was open to receiving, moving, coming back up here, because coming from Miami, it was very difficult. It was very difficult wrapping my head around the whole process. And, I couldn't even have the extra couple of hundred because to do the credit repair, because I'm paying, the rent was so expensive. I was paying nearly $2,000 of rent in Miami. All right. So let me see what y'all are talking about. When it comes to nation building, I think it's necessary. So the Life of King Wage is talking about in response to Miss Hope's comment. Or I thought I call her Hope. I know Hope from Philadelphia, y'all. When I tell y'all I'm serious about the people that I know, the people that I'm growing up with, these are people that I know, for the most part. Some people are new here, but most people are people that I know, because, these friendships have not been fly by night. Hopi and I have known each other almost 15 years now. 15 years. Hope knew me well before I had children. And she knew my ex-husband very well. We all, had the same circle of friends, and real quality people that we, know and love and still keep in touch with. So I have fond respect for people that hold me accountable, because that's a key component also of nation building. As the Life of King Wade said, when it comes to nation building, having multiple spouses, it's necessary. I'm going to say yes and no to that. I think it's how it's done. I think having a certain, I want to be very honest, y'all. Not a lot of us are making some quality choices with spouses. I'm going to be very honest with myself. There have been times when I wasn't making quality choices with spouses. And I'm not talking about my ex-husband, My ex-husband was really, I always say, and I don't know if I told this story to my sister that's on here, but I've always felt like, Mom really selected, my ex-husband for me, because their birthdays are 4 days apart. And I didn't meet my ex-husband until after, literally I met him the weekend, 2 weekends after we entered my mom into earth. And they had some real quality, some real similarities. And they were both Tauruses. So, that quiet strength, very strong. So I felt like she chose him for me. And I felt like the other men that I ended up, being with, I chose for myself. Like, these were men that I wanted. And I just wasn't really appreciative of the type of gentleman, the quality gentleman that he was. And it wasn't because I wasn't raised with a quality gentleman. I was, you know, my daddy is one of the best men I have ever known my whole life. And when I tell you a stand-up dude, a stand-up dude. Don't you ever get it twisted on Richard Delancey. Amen. A stand-up dude. And it wasn't that I didn't see them in a relationship. My mom and dad were married all the years that I knew them. You know, my mom passed away when I was still in my teens. But you know, my dad obviously liked getting married. He married again after my mom, you know, transitioned. So we have to make sure that not all the time, because I hear this too often when it comes to women. Oh, they don't have they don't have quality men that gave that for them to look at. They don't have quality men that are influencing them properly. So I had a quality man. I did. But I tell you what I got caught up in. I'm gonna be very honest, y'all. What I got caught up in was the game. I really did. Oh my gosh, Sis Queen Needs said, y'all, her apology. She just emailed me. Okay, and I was, and I can understand because that's why I was late getting on. She said she said apologies group. She's struggling with her network connection and can't access Wi-Fi. And I'm gonna tell her, okay, I understand. Y'all, these texts are coming in. So if I feel like, you know, if you feel like I'm like, you know, pulling from the screen, that's why. So I was late. So she's definitely committed to doing this with me again. Like we had a great talk yesterday. We had a great talk yesterday. So she will definitely be joining on. We'll be doing another one of these. And I said this ain't gonna be no one. This ain't gonna be no one time. This ain't gonna be one time thing. You know, amen. Because this is how. Okay, so how can she call in with my phone? How's she gonna call in? You know, I'm new to this too, guy. Okay, so let's see what Life of King Wade said first. Kings back then had multiple wives with a village mentality and a successful kingdom. The American culture is way too perverted. The American culture is. And so let me tell you what exploited me. And I'm going to be very honest. And my sister, she's on here. So, you know, we can keep it honest and real in front of our people. Because I'm not going to not keep it real in front of my people, in front of y'all. But me and my sister know something different. Like, no, guys, we're family. We're network. So I was involved in the entertainment industry. And when I say entertainment industry, I'm talking about music. I'm not talking about no adult, you know, entertainment stuff. Y'all don't play that type of stuff. You know, porn is the work of the devil. And I don't care what nobody says about it. If you are a man that is indulgent in that, you know, seek some help. If you are a woman that is indulgent in it, seek some help. You know, it cuts both ways. But porn is the work of the devil. So I wasn't involved in no porn industry. But the entertainment industry can feel and look like the porn industry anyway. But what happened was I got involved in the entertainment industry. And dang, what did Coco Barbie say? Because y'all know I'm on StreamYard. That's right. Okay, so y'all know Queen Neef is in Texas. And there's a storm that got upgraded to Category 1 hurricane and is moving to a 2-day, said. And that's what's messing up hers. That's what's messing up her network. Absolutely. So y'all, like I said, if I'm doesn't sound like I'm tuned in, please know that is why I'm checking these messages. Okay. That's why I'm checking these messages, and so that's what I'm going out on. But I see y'all having great conversation. Y'all having great conversation. She said she threw with AT&T. Amen. I hear you there. I hear you there, sis. Okay. So Let me ask her, can she call in? And I can put her on my phone, right? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I have a speaker here too, so you guys would be able to hear her. I could do that. All right, so let me see here what's being said. So, okay, so I was in the entertainment industry, and it is so normal to just to cheat. It really was. And I'm not talking about, I did go on dates with rappers and with ball players and all that good stuff. But what would happen was the mentality was so built in that my long-term stuff ended up being just with, regular guys that I would see. That I grew and have a relationship with. It wasn't with necessarily the rapper, although I do have a one rapper, and I always talk about him. One of these days, I'm not gonna be like oh, I don't want to say her name wrong, because I'm not gonna be like Corinne Steffens. I ain't gonna use the other name she goes by. But one of these days, it might come out of who the rapper was. Like he was a popular rapper. He's not as popular now, of course, but he still gets his dates and whatnot. But we had a very long going relationship throughout the middle of my marriage, and I've never been with him after my marriage. After I even left Philadelphia, I wasn't with him anymore physically, but every couple of months he'll reach out to me and will be like, hey, you should consider us getting back together. You should consider us getting back together. And he always tells me I would want to excuse me, I want to, oh, Taylor the Natural is here. Taylor, I can't even see you. Oh my gosh, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't see you on, okay, now you're starting to show up in here. Okay, I see you. I see you now. Okay, I had to scroll all the way back up. All right, so I missed a couple of things while I'm checking these texts, y'all. Ginger said Texas is, Taylor, Texas too big. Got snowstorms, dust storms, everything. Okay, y'all are funny. Okay, I see what's going on now. But yeah, so the entertainment industry, y'all, was not the place for me to be as a young married woman. And I had a quality dude. My sister can attest to this. My sister actually was listening. So while I was out, y'all know I do my thing. Because I'm trying to keep my fitness together. So I like to take any opportunity to make it into a workout. So I was doing my parking lot dashes the other day. But my kids were on the phone with their dad, with my ex-husband. And so my sister was in the car with them because my phone is the social media phone, which is separate from my business phone. It needed to be charged. So she had she had them in the car with it on the charger and that sort of thing. So so she was able to, hear some of their conversation. And she was just like, Courtney, he really loves those kids. And I said, I know. I said, trust me, y'all, I know all of this. That's the sad part. I know all of this. I knew all of this. He's always been a quality dude. He had men since day one. Since day one. He's been a quality dude. My head was so caught up in other BS, I couldn't really appreciate to the full extent. Because y'all, I was very heavy in the entertainment industry. I was a booking agent. I was booking artists like Nelly at 20, at 21, 22. And y'all know, okay, so booking agents get 10% of what an artist is making on a show. So, it just became a real, I want to say what the Life of King Way said, it was a real feminist mindset. Oh, I'm making this money, I'm doing whatever I want to do out here. I was booking Juvenile, Nelly, Trina and Kaya, no lie. So with them, I had them booked on the same weekend. I had Kaya booked in Philly. I had Trina booked in Maryland the same weekend. And I remember, because back then they've always had beef. And I remember people were asking me, does Kaya know you booking Trina? I was like, why would she care? It's not it's not on the same, it's not even in the same city. Excuse me. But that was the energy. People just felt that the money, people felt like they didn't even want you getting money with each other. So the entertainment industry was very influential and it was picking up around this time. The hip hop culture was really starting to get the type of numbers that R&B stars had seen. Oh, excuse me, y'all. No COVID, though. No COVID. So I'm going to go back to this statement, and I'm going to catch up with y'all, what y'all was saying. But it says, we're too caught up in a Eurocentric way of doing things. When they have stripped us of our practices, it's not for everyone, just for a chosen few. I get that. Greetings, Anthony. How are you, sir? Y'all, Anthony, let me tell y'all, Anthony and Iron have been riding with me for so long, y'all. They've been riding with me since the very beginning. I think both Anthony and Iron were amongst my first, if not my first 20 subscribers. I definitely know Iron was. I think Anthony was amongst my first 50. Y'all see now we're over 600. Y'all help me get to help me get to that 1,000 so we can start partnershiping. We can start partnering. We can start partnering and we can start really doing it with when I'm considered for a partnership. I know with that becomes a higher responsibility, but y'all, this, you know, the glow up is real. So y'all talking about Texas here. Cocoa Butter Barbie says she's still here. She's getting her breakfast together. Taylor is my moderator here in the chat room. I think she's my only one here. That's a bestie. Okay. She's my intellectual, I like to say my intellectual brain. Hopi is another one that I need to go ahead and make Hope a moderator. I haven't yet, but Hope I will after this one. Bev is here. Okay, Bev. Bev is here. Wow. Iron, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Taylor. And you know what? And so thank you for letting me know that, Taylor. So definitely hope for the next one. Excuse me. I need to go ahead and make you a moderator. So I have someone managing the room. My sister said, yeah, AT&T is the devil. Y'all are so funny in here. Y'all, unfortunately, I'm tethered, y'all, to my T-Mobile. So all my devices, because y'all remember when I was moving, it was real wonky. And I was cut off a couple of times because I was tethered to, everything was tethered to me. My son's Switch, both my phones, this laptop, we had my son's laptop. It was crazy. And so I couldn't hold it because also there was competing Wi-Fi. But oh, wow. Jen J says she's ready. Jen, yes. I have your email, Jen. Thank you. I will. So on the next podcast, both you and Hope will be a moderator. If any men want to be a moderator, let me know too. Because y'all know I'm equal opportunity. I'm equal opportunity. Thank you so much. And y'all, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. And y'all know I do like to okay. So I do like to support. I like to support my moderators too. You know, with what they're doing, what we have going on. It may not always be cash support, but it is some support. So yes, I would love to have you up. AT&T, it is crazy. You guys, okay, so just a side story, but we will continue to be had and gotten over on until we have our own, which is what Iron was saying. I'm sorry, not Iron, but the Life of King Waves was saying earlier. Okay, Jen J, I do. Thank you so much. If anybody else is interested in being a moderator, please, this is the email. I have Jen J's email address. I have Hopies, but if anybody else is interested in being a moderator, please let me know, because I have a couple of really good moderators, and they're also on the West Coast. So sometimes y'all know how it goes. West Coast, West Coast is a couple hours back. And my main moderator, she is in school, or was in school. So now that I think school is out, she's getting to some things she wanted to get to. Thank you. Iron says we will continue to ride with you because we have a great platform. This is what it's about, y'all. It's about us. The glow up is together. Imagine this glow up we're collectively glowing. And y'all, someone brought it to my attention for me to start doing some merchandise. So if any of you know anyone or any of you yourself do logos, I'm ready. I'm definitely ready to look into that. Creating, doing our own t-shirts to really make it make sense is kind of expensive. So if anyone knows how we can kind of figure out how to do that without such a, like $26, $30 a shirt, I don't know. I really want to do something that's like $7 to $10 a shirt so we can really, throw them out there. Let me know if y'all have any ideas. But y'all, this is my email if you're interested in being a moderator. Send me an email. Very simple, as you see there. Oh, thank you, Iron. Yeah, people have been telling me that. They've been telling me that for a minute, y'all, because if y'all email me, people that talk to me on a consistent basis, I use all of these terms very interchangeably. I'm a wordplay girl, y'all. I'm a wordsmith. So I'm always like, you glow, girl. Let's glow. 5, 4, 3, 2. Why let one glow? I'm always like doing stuff like that anyway. And so, yeah, we just need to put the merch together. I will. Oh, great. So Jen J says Big Sauce Poppy is a merch king that we can get it on the low. Please, yes, email me. Let's get it together. So yeah, so I'm very honest, guys, when it comes to that. Oh, okay. So my sister's saying also it is $8 a shirt. And but she says that it would be Buford Highway. But we can do it. We do a mass print. If we do a mass printing, we make it make sense, right? So, and I know what we got 10, we got 12 in here right now. We got 12 buyers that are buying $8 shirt, right? So for the men, I usually say light your light. For the women, I say glow. Because I usually I don't think of glow up like for men the same way I do for women. But if anybody glowed up, y'all know Malcolm X glowed up. Amen. Gucci Mane glowed up with that look. So maybe I need to get out of my own sexist way of thinking. Ooh, Bev said we got classmates, y'all. This is I wanted to give a shout out to my good friend here. This is my best friend from 3rd grade up until like college was when we start. I went off. She came up to FAMU, but I think a year later. We didn't start FAMU at the same time, but from 3rd grade up, this was my best friend, y'all. And I mean, she was so. Beverly was always like about it. When I tell you just about it, she was just strong. She was strong. She was my lady. Kalisha does. That's right. Kalisha does do t-shirts. Beverly, we're gonna have to talk. Okay, so make sure Beverly. She is. We're gonna have to talk. Okay, we're gonna have to talk. Because she does do shirts. She does do shirts. Yes, me and Beverly went to FAMU. Okay, so Iron says definitely no glowing up for the men. Okay, that's what I thought. But y'all, Malcolm glowed up. Malcolm did glow up. Bless you. My daughter sneezed. Bless you. Yes, me and Beverly are FAMU Rattlers. We are family. We are FAMU Rattlers. We are. Uh-huh. We are. We definitely do. I do know Kalisha does t-shirts. We have to talk. Give me just after we get out of after I get off of this live, Bev, let's talk today. Give me like, give me a time and we can talk this afternoon or evening. Yes, we're rattlers. We're rattlers. Me and Beverly are rattlers. I don't know if anybody else. I'm gonna scroll up on this screen and rattlers, but I have a lot of FAMU, especially here in Atlanta. Oh yeah, you were in Pattyfoot. Oh no, sis. I was in Wheatley. I think Beverly always had an off-campus apartment because Beverly came up. I think sophomore year. Beverly had an off-campus apartment. Oh, perfect, Beverly. Yes. So after I get off this live, because I like to edit and edit it down. Give me, and we're gonna be on here for a little bit. I'm gonna be probably about another half hour on this live because me and Quiz, me me and Queen Neitha are still talking back and forth. So I don't know if she can call in, guys. We talking back and forth though, but her texts are coming in very slow. That's why I'm a little distracted. Wow. So Aaron, where did you go? Oh, I was in Palmetto. Okay, so I went from Wheatley I stayed on Florida State's campus my sophomore year. And I picked up a class over there because we got a little less, because I stayed in the off-campus dormitory, but we paid less, so we took a class over at Florida State. So I started a class over at Florida State, and I ended up, and my ex-husband, his dad was a professor at Florida State. And my ex-husband ended up switching to Arizona State. So he was at Arizona State. I still had a class. I ended up having to drop the class because the next year I was able to switch. I was able to go back to FAMU campus, and that's when I started living in the Palmettos. I lived in Palmetto 1, Palmetto 2, and then I lived in phase 3. But I stayed on a campus all of my years. I never had an off-campus apartment. Never had. My dad was really he was adamant of just making sure that of everything I stayed on campus. This was after my mom had passed, and so he really was just wanting to be very secure in where I was located. And I thank God for that. I really liked on campus living. I really liked on campus living. So let's see here. So those palmettos, absolutely. So Iron says UMass. Oh my gosh, I love UMass. We can talk about it. But yeah, the HBCU experience is definitely different, and that also gave me a different appreciation for Black people. That really did. I want to say that. I want to say that it did give me a different appreciation for Black people because of the fact that I saw just different Black people doing what they needed to do to achieve that education. And it was something that, I want to say this, growing up, entitlement was the issue for me. I think it came off as selfish to some people, but now in my older years, I get what that is now. And it wasn't necessarily I was selfish, I just felt entitled. I had a real issue with just not appreciating that people had different walks of life, Can you guys kind of understand or relate to that a bit? Like, I didn't understand that. I remember because I was married young, I was just like, well, who's having these problems with relationships? Because marriage is not easy, and I'm married, but it's not easy, and it's no, cakewalk over here, and I wasn't really appreciative that a lot of people were having, hard time finding someone to have a relationship with because I was married young. Beverly was at my wedding. Yes, Beverly, you were Taiwan, Kalisha, Rachel. Girl, I close my eyes, I can still see it like it was yesterday. And Lord knows it was more than 20 years ago. Amen. Y'all, that's crazy. People would see our wedding pictures and think it was prom. Because we were, like I said, I was married very young. And so it was Beverly. It was until, remember the DJ played Your Child by Mary J. Blige? Beverly, so inappropriate. I told my dad not to pay him. I mean, I did. I told my dad not to pay him. I whispered in my daddy's ear. I said, don't pay him. How you going to play Your Child at a reception? At a reception. Y'all know Your Child. Y'all remember that, right? Child. I was like, not even that song, the other one about being friends, the one I think she did with Leon. And I was like, it would have been very fitting if he would have played the one that Michael Jordan was in. Y'all know that was a big rumor for a long time that I didn't really take it serious until I got into the entertainment industry, that Mary J. Blige and Michael Jordan had they had a fling. Yeah, the DJ was very messy. Because y'all knew Michael Jordan didn't make no guest appearances in nobody video, y'all. And he was in that Mary J. Blige video. Y'all, anybody can remember that song, please put it up here. Please put it up here. Okay, so Aaron says, yeah, coming from Jamaica, a lot of us couldn't understand the average Black American student. We just saw opportunity in the midst of all of the mess. I agree. You know what happens? Okay, so I think with our culture, we become, and I say our, I mean like Black American culture, we become just so caught up in thinking that everything that we're going through is a personal struggle. We can't see it on, yes, we're here. We can't see it. We cannot see it as, we can't see it from a world view because we haven't experienced the world. No problem. Okay, no problem. So I'm still checking these messages. Queenie said, "Are we still on?" Because she thinks she about ready. She thinks she about ready, y'all. It's gonna get real in here real fast. I can't wait till this queen joins us. But absolutely, Aaron, you're right. We get so we get so kind of narrow-minded view, and it comes off as selfish. But like I said, I grew and I realized it was really entitlement. It was just really a limited view because we didn't have those world experiences. And like I said, with me, don't get me twisted. I'm being very accountable when I'm on here with you guys. My family and my sister can tell y'all. My sister's in the room as well. Beverly is in the room as well. Like these people I grew up with. Like they saw me elementary, middle school, high school, college, adult Courtney. Y'all, I had a very, we had balanced lives. We had mom and dad in the household, mom and dad working, middle class to us, but just didn't realize until I got into an adult that we were poor. My mom was like, there was a word for it. There's a word for it now. Back then we were called Black middle class, which was different from white middle class. But my mom always said, we're more of the poorer of a white middle class. And we couldn't appreciate that. But now as adults, it's a working poor. It's a working poor. I think the big thing, the great thing about my mom and dad were that they owned their home. My dad actually had gotten the home, I think, from the GI Bill. My dad had been, in the military prior to meeting my mother and going to school. And y'all, when my dad married my mom had 3 children from a previous marriage. So that's also something too I want to talk about in regards to relationships that don't y'all ever let somebody get it twisted. Don't y'all ever let somebody get it twisted talking about, single women hit the wall. Nobody wants to raise somebody else's children, because that wasn't the case. My mother's first husband still was very much in his children's lives. Okay. My mom was not out here just seeking a quote unquote simp to throw her kids off on. And I feel like that's the reason why I still hold such regard. I'm a single mother, you know, divorced. I have 2 children. But I know I'm not out here just seeking a man to unload my kids off on, you know. I got into a very, and I talk about this often because it does upset me to this day. This gentleman wanted to tell me that, you know, men in their 40s weren't checking for women in their 40s. They wanted women in their 20s. And I said, well, what makes you think that women in their 20s want men in their 40s? They don't. You know, everybody wants the hot thing. And the hot thing usually is not going to be with someone in their 40s with some children and a divorce and whatnot. And that goes for both genders. And I just think that men and women need to be realistic and accountable with that. You know, I have no problem with that now because I'm not seeking more than one person now. Now, I had that problem with thinking in my late 20s and in the first few years of my divorce. It definitely kind of would get to me that, you know, I wasn't quote unquote prime material because here I was, I had been through a marriage, I was divorced, and I had these children. But now I'm just like, you know, I'm in my 40s. Who's in their 40s that hasn't been married and doesn't have children? You know, that shouldn't be a deterrent. So, but I really have a problem with the way some men will try to make you feel. Excuse me. Some men will try to make you feel that, yeah, you just kind of should take whatever. And y'all, I'm not gonna do that because here I was, like I said, I was married throughout my entire 20s. I'm not gonna be married throughout my entire 20s just to be somebody's girlfriend in my 40s. Like, nah, I'm good on it. So I've been single and celibate for 5 years now. And like I said, it does get lonely, but I'm not alone. And you know, I just think that there's a whole lot more. There's a whole lot more to do on me than what I think most people. than what we really want to give credit to individually sometimes. So I know there's a lot to do on me in regards to relationship. Like, I've grown a lot, but there's some areas definitely I can still improve on. And y'all, I want to be so strong in my fitness game that no one throws me off again. I really want that because in my last relationship, I was kind of getting my mojo back again with the working out. And then within 3 months, because I was engaged to a gentleman that was, you know, he was a larger gentleman. And yeah, he got into cooking all the time. And I didn't get into his eating habits per se, because he ate rice and stuff. I'm not into it. But, you know, I did let him throw me off of my workout game. And I need to be so strong in my workout and my fitness regime this time that I'm not thrown off again. So I'm almost back to that mojo factor again. Well, we'll see. So let's see what Beverly says here. Beverly, like I said, you guys, we grew up together. Beverly and I were best friends. Beverly had a pool. Beverly, let me tell y'all, Beverly was so popular because Beverly was a black person with a pool. Y'all better stop playing with Beverly today. Beverly had Beverly was the Princess of Bel-Air over there in our community. Beverly had a pool, y'all. The neighborhood we lived in was basically occupied by whites. When we started moving to the area, the whites moved out. It was gentrified. It was reverse. They call it white flight. White flight, reverse gentrification. I've heard that as well. And now they've changed the name of the area. Y'all, so if y'all don't know, we grew up in Daytona Beach. They've changed the area to Midtown now. And y'all, this happens all over the U.S. But like I said, us being, 8, 9, 10 and up, we weren't really aware. I will say this: my sister always had a ear for stuff like this. She always had her her finger on the pulse. So she was always really into it. Even as a young age. But yes, the white flight and the reverse gentrification is very real. It's an improvement, but this is what I want to say, which is so interesting, you guys. Okay, so gentrification, y'all, it's not monopolized by white people. It literally is just the it's taking over. It's the improvement of an area that has been reduced with popularity or with economic value by us by certain circumstances, right? So when we say improving, when we say improving the neighborhood, most of the time we don't put us in it. We don't put us in it, but y'all, we can improve a neighborhood too, because home ownership improves the neighborhood. Home ownership improves the neighborhood. And that's something that we need to understand and appreciate that y'all, she was she was a y'all, but you couldn't tell me Beverly wasn't rich. And that pool was deep too, y'all. That pool was deep. That pool, it wasn't no wade in pool, y'all. But home ownership improves the neighborhood because people care about the neighborhoods more when you care about your home more when you own it. This is just fact. And so we can't get into this habit of thinking that whites are the only ones that gentrify neighborhoods. Home ownership it improves neighborhoods and increases economical value. That's something that Black people, we can do if we, moved in mass onto property and took it over. There's a huge area in Jacksonville, y'all. And I will find a link and I'll link it to the playback in this video. But there's a huge area in Jacksonville that it used to be what they call it, like it used to be government housing, and the housing is now no longer inhabitable, and it was government housing. And when I tell y'all, if we had don't even get me started. And like, I'm not even into the athletes like that, because I'm not into the athletes need to kind of pull their money, this left need to save our stuff. But y'all, on the real, if we had a good $2 million. A good $2 million. That's why I said I'm not gonna put it on the athletes, y'all. I'm talking about us. If we had just a good $2 million amongst just regular people, we could own this land. I'm talking about, it's a lot of land. And I said 2 million because that's not what they have it listed for, y'all. Government can't own the property no more. So that's not what they have it listed for. But if we had 2 million, I'm talking about $1 million to purchase and then another $1 million to put into the creation of the new homes, because y'all, it does not take that much to build a home. And that's also a lie that we have been sold and we continue to buy. It doesn't take that much to build these homes. And so if we had proper financing in place, we could literally start our own communities all over the United States just with, guess what, plantation properties. Y'all, I've been researching this for years. Plantation properties, y'all. They stay on foreclosure. They stay in foreclosure. They stay in what they call them when they auction. They stay in auctions. And y'all, what's so crazy is that they'll say that they're on these auctions, they're being auctioned off these huge plantation properties, y'all. We're talking about, yes, the same plantations that were used to enslave us. Yes, indeed. They're being auctioned off, and I'm talking about for what the price of a home is. Hundreds of thousands, low hundred thousands, complete plantation. Y'all know plantations weren't just homes. It was acres and acres of land. And we are not able to take advantage because we're not economically powerful. And also too, because our knowledge is not there, y'all. I've been researching this for years. Let me tell you, at one point in time in Louisiana, and y'all know the purchase of Louisiana and Texas happened with the dollar, right? Y'all do. Let's do some research. Let's know it. So at a certain point in Louisiana, at a certain point about 3 years ago in Louisiana, there were 3 huge plantations that were up for they were up for sale. They were all being auctioned off, and they were saying because no family members existed. And y'all, guess what? Y'all know they're saying no family members existed, right? But let's talk about it. Slaves were considered family. That's why the interbreeding was that important. So you're gonna tell me that we can't purchase the property. We were considered property, but we can't purchase the property because we were considered property. Y'all, when I tell y'all I need a little ding ding ding, I need to ring that bell, somebody need to throw up a glower. That's on everything. That's on everything. That's why we can't purchase property, because we were considered property, but our name is still in those dockets. And we still have the same last name. So imagine if we had our lawyers on retainer. This is a national lawsuit, y'all. This is a class action lawsuit. We need to get it in gear, y'all. We need to get it in gear. You know, we have got to my gosh, we have got to, my sister said, my gosh, that's part of the plan. Amen. We have got to get this thing in gear, because we're entitled to the land. We're entitled to the land. The land is ours, but we're not connected collectively. We're not fighting collectively. We're fighting in these individual pockets, and I appreciate it. I do appreciate the pockets that we are in. I appreciate the few of us that are clumping together, and we're seeking out, we're researching, we're finding the truth, and we're increasing our knowledge. But it's now time to do something with it, y'all, because we're at a time right now in this country's history that quite honestly, our children may never see again, where we really have the eye of the nation on us. And we need to address this. So, man, I thought my sis was going to be getting on, not my sister already is on, but I mean my queen niece. But, my daughter wanted to do a couple of things today. They wanted to go to Barnes and Noble. She's been talking about this for 2 weeks, y'all. So I want to make sure she gets to get there and gets to pick up a couple of items. Y'all, you know how good it feels though that school is supposed to be starting again, and you don't have to be doing all the running around like you used to have to do for school. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And Beverly's an educator, so y'all, has this been the more simpler school openings? I know there's still some areas that are contesting. They're still having to battle actually going back to physical school. But for the most part, America looks like we're being, it's a consensus of us not doing regular school. We're doing consensus with virtual school. The only thing we have to do is make sure we got these laptops ready. Amen. And y'all, I'm getting such, like I said, if I'm sound distracted because I'm checking text messages at the same time, and I'm also trying to make sure I'm staying current with the conversation into the chat room. But people are sending me, some more information regarding regarding the question I asked and regarding the merchandising. And so like I said, I'm going back and forth. But the property is a big component, because when we talk about creating these communities, where are we going to be living? Who's going to be governing these communities? We have got to really ask these questions now, because the last thing we want to know. Wow, that's amazing. So my sister just sent me a picture of what's going on in Puerto Rico right now. It's a major. Let me tell you, Anthony, and I'm not just saying this because I've been thinking about this for years. Let me tell you how I came up on this. So when I was still married, I want to say the last 2 years of my marriage. No. The last 4 years of my marriage. My ex-father-in-law, he sent us to. That's right, Bev. Come on, Bev. This is my sister, y'all. This is my growing up, my Cadillac, my West Side sister. We started at West Side Elementary together. This requires changes in policies and procedures, absolutely. And you know what Queen Neith always says, I'm gonna put that up here in the chat so we can feel it. This needs to go on a t-shirt. I told her yesterday, so she's already in the works. Again, this on a t-shirt. Racism is a team sport, y'all. And y'all, make sure y'all check out Queen Neith's channel. It is The Blackest Truth. I'll put it up here as well. The Blackest Truth. She is phenomenal. Sis is 30. You would think with her knowledge, she's well above. She actually is my nephew's age. Beverly, believe it or not, Jamal's going to be 30 on Monday. Can you believe it? A detective here in Atlanta, the Cab Police Department. He is going to be 30 on Monday. Bev was around when I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be like having a little brother. And he's my nephew though, but he's like a little brother. Child, I love that young man and what he has become. Okay, so let me get back to this business. Let me tell y'all how I came up with this plantation idea, why I started researching it. So my nephew, we get so remember when I couldn't go? I couldn't go until he could ride a bike. I couldn't come to your house because I couldn't bring him on. I couldn't bring him on to your house. Yep, I had to wait till he could ride the bike. So we had to wait until he was about 5 or 6 before I could come to your house with him, because I couldn't carry him over there. I couldn't carry him over. We had to wait till he was about 5, I think he grew. And so that was like high school. We could put him in the back seat. But I couldn't just walk him over to your house. We had to wait till he could ride a bike. So my ex-father-in-law, and unbeknownst to me until we got there, he gave us an anniversary trip to a plantation. It was in Berry, Virginia, in Boston, Virginia. It was the Berry Hill Plantation. It was Boston, Virginia. So when I tell y'all, when we were at this plantation, it was a refurbished plantation. Y'all, we could not really sleep. We couldn't really sleep. I had never been on a plantation before. Let me tell you what was one of the things that were so striking about the plantation. Let me tell you what was so striking about it is that you couldn't see your hand. It was dark. You could not see anything in front of you. It was that dark. So immediately, and let me tell you another thing too. All right, from the road to the front door was almost about, I want to say it was about 4 miles. So y'all, so imagine like my whole idea of running away from a plantation was thrown on its head. And this was, like I said, this was not, I'm not ashamed to tell y'all, this wasn't me in my 20s. Like I said, I was married in my 20s, but you know, we got divorced 8 years ago. So this was me in my, you know, the top of being 30. This was me about, you know, 31, about 31. The idea of running away to me used to be like, okay, right behind the outhouse where the slaves stayed was you know, the backyard. Like my idea of distance was really off. My idea of distance was super off. And the plantation that we stayed on or at really threw me back into reality of what someone had to do to just escape from the plantation. Y'all, this wasn't just running out the door and then they hopping on a bus, you know, and then they going by their business. They hopping on a horse. It was 4 miles before they even got to the road from the plantation. And y'all, they still had everything intact. So the I call them outhouses because the cabins where the black people stayed, the quarters where the slaves stayed, they were the size of outhouses. They really were. They were the size. They're not even the size of like a room, a bedroom. They were the size of like maybe like two bathrooms and a closet, like a standard, like a storage unit that's a 10 by 10 is even bigger. I'm not even kidding y'all. The whole families lived in this thing. You better stop. You know, that's what we were thinking. That's why we didn't sleep. You know, when my ex-husband woke up with his neck hurt and he felt like he had been lynched, you know, in his dream. And I'm telling you, going into those little cabins, y'all, and I've yet to go to Africa. I plan on going within this year. Me and Beverly, we got to talk about that because I know we were kind of touching on that subject last time when we talked on the phone. But I really want us to get together a group to go. I really want us to work on that stuff. But yeah, I want to go back to Africa within this year. Definitely. I wanted to say within the next 2 years, but I'm going to say within this year, definitely. I'm not even going to put it off, y'all. I'm not going to put it off because when this next shutdown happens, I think this next shutdown is going to be even worse. Like, you're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to go nowhere. So I definitely want to do it within this year. But no, bro, you talking about, but that's how we felt. Like, that's how we couldn't sleep. And we slept in the big house. We slept in a regular room, and they were small. Like, they weren't like what master bedrooms are, but the beds were really high. Were really lofted, and they were very comfortable, and they kept everything very traditionally. But honey, we couldn't sleep. And then when we went down to breakfast, right? We were there for 3 days. We went down to breakfast. Y'all, all the servants were black. When I tell y'all I couldn't wait to get out of there, I hated it. I was just like, I get it, but I hate it. Like, I get it, but I hate it. You know, they had the dining hall, and you know, even though all the servants were black, y'all know all the people that stayed at the plantation were not black. So it was white people there being served, and I hated it. But guess what I found out after we left and we came back? We were living in Virginia at the time. We came back, and about 2 weeks later, his dad was over in Charlotte. So we were living with my in-law. And my ex-father-in-law, he calls us downstairs. So we go downstairs. And that's right, because Alicia's married to a Nigerian, or is he Ghanaian? That's right. The size of it was less than the size of a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm telling you, Monica, it was really something else, sis. So he called us downstairs, and it was the plantation. It was on 60 Minutes. But y'all, guess who owned it? 2 black women. Yes. 2 black women had purchased it. One was a business owner already. I want to say she did work in hospitality. The other one retired from her job. She worked in tech. She retired, and they took their savings and they purchased that plantation. It's the Berry Hill Plantation in Boston, Virginia. And they were like, they got grants. They got grants from the government to refurbish it. And so they had, so a certain portion of the proceeds would be to make it historical, to make it museum. It had to be, so that's why they kept things intact with the slave. That was historical. And then the other portions, of course, they could use as they wanted because it was a business. But what they did was they housed, and I use that because, but yeah, people were able to live on the plantation. Their workers lived on the plantation. So the people that served us in the hall, the dining hall, they lived there. So it wasn't no going back. So it was kind of like this restarting the plantation, but this time, so people don't like when I use that term, when I call it, we need to restart plantation, but basically living where you work is an ideal situation. You do not have to worry about, the back and forth with gas, with maintenance, and that sort of thing. The only thing that you really have to worry about is building up a community to support it. So, I believe so. Now they were struggling. I remember seeing, the hotels, the servers and maids, exactly. It was historical. So Iron asked, is it still open? I believe so. So you can research it. Let me put it up here. It is called Berry Hill Plantation. And I remember a couple of years ago, they, when I say a couple, I do mean two. They were saying that, business, it was hard to keep, like they were looking for other grants because there were certain other things they wanted to do with the property. But from what I knew, it was still open then. Berry Hill Plantation. All right, so you know what, guys, since we have a few minutes till 1, if anybody's interested in calling in and joining the platform, I'm going to drop the link so we can start to get this ball going because I know we were looking forward to Sis Neat coming on board. They had the horrible storms over Texas. It was, she wasn't able to join us today and she wasn't able to call in. But you guys know I'm equal opportunity, and I feel like my people that are in the room are just as qualified to share what they're thinking as well. So I've just posted there. I just posted, and I'm going to put it up in the big. Yep, it is historical. It is historical. So I just posted. Let me post again. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Y'all know I'm always very surprised with getting a group in here on a Saturday morning because I just really be thinking that sometimes, y'all, everybody got it, they doing what they want to do on a Saturday. And the fact that y'all really come in here with me is so awesome. It's so awesome. The fact that we in here glowing up together. Build up community. That's what it is about. That's what it's about. And as we were talking yesterday, sis, that's how you get your base. That's how you get your base. Y'all, so that's the StreamYard. I'm going to leave that open for, it's almost 1 o'clock. I'm going to leave that open for the next 10, 15 minutes as I clear this out. And just want to start proposing the State of the Melanin address. I want to start opening up this platform. Y'all, I regard anyone that I have invited to glow up on this journey with me as being it's gonna throw me off. So Jen, Ernest is actually that's my sister Monica, my blood sister. But Ernest is her son's name, and she's on his account because her accounts are being occupied. So that's my sister Monica. So when I keep referring to Ernest as a sis, I'm not on here on some cis women LGBTQ stuff. That's my nephew's account, but that's my sister that's talking. So absolutely. But yeah, y'all know I'm very equal opportunity, and I always say if you're the smartest of your friends, you need new friends. You know, I've always prided myself with just having a good circle of friends. Like, you know, I always have my mom definitely used to get on me about some choices, but for the most part, I think I've always had a good circle of, like, you know, quality people. I have just like with men, you know, I have made some poor decisions or some limited decisions depending on my current circumstances. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, I definitely have the capacity to choose some winners too. Yeah, that's my blood sis. That's my blood sis. She is 4 years my senior. I'm baby. I'm Rudy. I told y'all we were the Cosby kids growing up. And so y'all, for our next F Bomb Friday, because me and her will be together, she and I will be together. I'm going to have her on F Bomb Friday. We're going to be talking about family, and so my sister's going to be my guest for next Friday. So you guys definitely make sure that is something you tune into. The political strategizing has literally been her since she was in, you know, high school. Monica has always had a brilliant head for policy, for figuring things out. So I'm definitely going to have her. We are real sisters. We blood sisters through and through. And she has definitely, she's the one that encouraged me to run for office in Miami. She came down and she learned the lay of the land. She told me, she gave me the black print, what I needed to do. She gave me the game plan. And I ran with it. I ran with it. You know, I didn't have a lot of, I didn't have family in that area, but, you know, I had a game plan. And I was able to become the youngest serving council member for the Coconut Grove Village Council. And it was great. It was a great game plan she laid out. She told me who I needed to engage with, who I needed to make sure I had the backing of. And she laid out an excellent plan. So we're up here right now doing it. We're up here right now. We're working between DeKalb County and Cobb County. And it's been great. So she will be on. We have to get that LLC together, though. I tell you, I have 2 other LLCs I need to make sure I strap in. And she has an event coming up here on August 4th. So she'll be talking about that next Friday for F-Bomb Friday. Y'all, the line is open. The line is open. If anybody wants to join me up here and weigh in anything that you learned from the day, anything that you want to talk about moving forward. Oh, look at who's up there. Y'all, this is our number one. This is our sleeper winner, but they ain't sleeping on her no more. She won the June 9th election. And now she's in the runoff for August 11th. And y'all, this is going to be our guest on Wednesday, on our Glow Up Wednesday. So you guys, I'm just so excited that everyone came in here supporting. If anyone wants to get on with this stream, I'm going to be up for a few more minutes. I love y'all. I really do. My children know, you know, I look forward to this, y'all. I look forward to this time with speaking and talking. But more than talking, y'all, I look forward to us doing. I'm a very active-minded person. And, you know, Beverly can tell y'all that from, you know, I used to be about it. Like, I don't be just about talking. I'm like, oh, yeah, when we going to do it? I told, you know, Cynthia used to be a booking agent as well. Pitbull was one of her clients. I said, let's do it. Let's do it tonight. You know, we may not get tomorrow. Let's do it tonight. And that's one thing I think, if one thing of purpose, of substance has come from this COVID situation, is that you really might not get tomorrow. And I don't just mean because you might lose your life, but you may lose a quality of your life that you may not be able to execute. You know, the travel, the leisure, you may not be able to have that tomorrow, y'all. That time is coming. I tell you, the next lockdown that we see is going to be even. Soldier, you better say that twice. Y'all better throw up y'all glowers in here. I ain't seen nobody throw up. Y'all better throw up y'all glowers in here, okay? Y'all better throw those glowers up. Y'all know, throw those lights up, throw those glowers up, throw those stars, diamonds, whatever glows, y'all. Light your light. Light your light. You better say that twice, soldier. I am. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. If I say it, what Fox said, if I said it, either I did it or I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. So I'm active. I'm action minded. I'm action minded. I don't like to just kind of sit down and let somebody else figure it out. You know. Amen. That's right, sis. Your mom has always been into that. Beverly's mom was always into that nature stuff. I'm telling y'all, and y'all don't even know. Like, I've always been eating salads. I eat salads because of my daddy. My daddy always liked to have a salad with dinner. He always was really into that. My dad's Bahamian, so vegetables, vegetables with Caribbean people has a different, I think, appreciation than what we have as African Americans. My dad had a very strong Bahamian influence because he used to go to Eleuthera, every summer up until my uncle said he was in like his mid-20s. He would go to Eleuthera. So we do. Iron, that's right. Put them bangs, put them starburst up. Hey, all right, y'all put your glowers up. Hey, we have to change our mindset, y'all. This is a part of it. So we'll be doing this State of the Melanin address. We'll be doing it once, twice a month. Y'all, I'm gonna drop the link to my sis in power. The Black is Truth. Make sure y'all check her channel out. She was not able to get on today, but she will be on to the next State of the Melanin address that we do. She will be on to the next. And then also too, we're going to have, y'all know, Palmetto is definitely not new to this. He's true to this. Okay. He is the creator of Malcolm X Day in Atlanta, a decade running. Used to host the television show Too Raw for TV, which documented illegal search and policy procedures from the police department. It was a reality show. It was canceled 3 years ago. But y'all, I ride with real ones. I really do. I really do. I really do. I can't stress that enough. How important that is when you're talking about having a network. Having a system that keeps you accountable. Your network is your net worth. Okay, I can't say that enough, y'all. I'm gonna throw up and I want to thank you to everyone who Zelle today. We had a couple of very strong supporters. Zelle today to keep everything going afloat, to keep this till moving. To keep this book fund functioning. Y'all, I want to tell y'all something else too. If you are a content creator, please visit Mom and Daughter. Mom and Daughter. I'm gonna put up there. This woman has helped me grow my channel so much with quality people that are really interested in supporting. I can't say that enough. Okay. I'm putting her up there in the chat room. And then the Black is Truth. That's the last link I'm going to post before I get on out of here. It is 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. Beverly, you know my number. Give me a call. Give me 30 minutes. I don't even need a full hour to edit this down. Give me just 30 minutes and then let's hop on a call, because I definitely appreciate some of the things you were saying. And also, guys, if you're interested in being a moderator, I thank you for everyone who suggested that. If you are interested in being a moderator, please email me. It's very simple. It's groupglowup@gmail.com. That's GROUP, glowup, GLOWUP@gmail.com. You guys check out Queen Niece's channel. Yeah, I have a Zelle account. I listed it. If you want to contribute, I'll put my number back up. I do. It's just my phone number, but my email address can be linked to it too. But if you want to email me, I did have it up here in the chat. If you want to scroll up, I have my phone number linked. But if you want to email me also, Iron, I have your email address. That's right, I do, because oh my gosh, that's right, Iron. So Iron was one of the first people that I told for my group about the script I was writing. And man, I always appreciate the love, because people can so easily just say, I don't think that'll work, and people, you don't realize somebody maybe I'd be asking you if it'll work. They just want to share with you they are, but he was so supportive right from the jump. I thank you, and we have picked up with what we're doing right now. So Jelani, Iron, I will email you my phone number, and we can go from there. But yes, I have a Zelle account. I don't have a personal Cash App. I have access to some Cash App, but I don't. I was hacked a couple of times, so even when I share with people, I absolutely prefer to use Zelle, because I've had a couple of run-ins with Cash App, and I don't have PayPal. So at any rate, as we always say, this time I go for mine. I got the chance to throw your hands up in the sky. Y'all. Y'all, I really love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in to the State of the Melanin Address. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share it. If you have not subscribed, please do. Let's grow this glow, y'all. And like I said, this is not going to be about gossip. This is about us taking some real topics and productively and progressively creating an action accountable network behind them. That's what the State of the Melanin is about. I am looking so forward to how we grow this. Next time, please make sure, hold me accountable. Make sure the sooner everybody's in here, the sooner we can definitely get going with organizing our local rises, because y'all, we can do this and we can talk all day, but make me accountable. All right. So let's put some action items on the agenda. I love what Beverly was saying about gardening. I do need to get into gardening. I'm gonna make sure when I get my home, when I do get my home, I'm going to definitely grow kale. That's my favorite. Beverly knows that's my favorite. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get ready for this phone call with Beverly. That's my lady. All right, so until next time, y'all know what to do. Glow.